Hi everyone, I'm EllaCums. Today I'd like to talk to you about my first month on OnlyFans. As you may have noticed, there are tons of videos out there of people claiming to have made thousands of dollars within their first week on the site. Well, that's not true for everyone, or even most of us, and I knew for sure that wouldn't be true for me. I started out as a nobody. I had no following on social media, so I definitely did not have a huge list of people waiting to see me naked. In this video, I would like to share with you my experience starting out on OnlyFans, and hopefully reassure those of you who are also just starting out. It's okay to not make a grand in your first week. In this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of using OnlyFans, how I set up my account, creating my content, pricing and promotions, advertising, the sex worker community, and last, but also maybe least, Timewasters. I have added timestamps in this video in case you wish to skip to any particular section. Pros and cons. I'll start with the pros. First of all, I've been having a lot of fun making my content, and I've realized that sex work is something I really enjoy. I have received lots of compliments both from buyers and other sex workers, which has really helped boost my self-confidence in such a vulnerable field. I really enjoy that I can do my taxes with OnlyFans. I can just get all my documents from OnlyFans, and they will also have my real name on them. And this name is only visible to OnlyFans. My buyers can only see what my OnlyFans name is. OnlyFans also has an age verification feature, so not only do you have to prove that you're of age to sell content, but buyers also have to confirm that they are of age before they can make an account and buy from the content creators. There's a tip option on OnlyFans, so people can tip on specific posts that they really like, or they could send you a tip just through the messaging. It's pretty easy and straightforward to make your posts. It's just like any other social media platform. And then you can also create posts and messages that require payment before the viewer can see them. So maybe you have a 20-minute long video when you normally only post a couple minutes and you feel like viewers should have to pay more for that. Well, then you can charge more for that very specific video. I also like that I can message all my subscribers individually. I like being able to charge one monthly subscription fee rather than having to charge per photo or per video, because I find it really hard to put a price on an individual picture or an individual set of pictures, and this just makes it way easier for me, and it makes it so that my subscribers can get more content for their money. Another feature I really enjoy is scheduling posts. If I know I'm going to be busy or just generally need a break, I can make posts scheduled for the whole week. And one final thing that I'm really thankful for is OnlyFans puts a watermark on all of your photos. So they say onlyfans.com / whatever your username is on OnlyFans. So for me, it's onlyfans.com / Ella_Cummings. Now for the cons. First of all, is OnlyFans takes 20% of your profits as a fee. Recently, you may or may not have heard, there was a leak of over 1.3 terabytes. Leaks are always going to happen, even though OnlyFans is doing everything they can to prevent it. And I think if you're going to be starting an OnlyFans account, you have to be comfortable with the fact that your content could end up out there. And it could very easily be sent to your family by someone who may have some random grudge against you. While the website is pretty good, I think it really needs an app. Not everything works that well, especially on the mobile version. Sometimes your notifications get in the way. And then also the notifications, you're supposed to be able to get browser notifications, but I often only get them once I open the website on my phone, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the notifications turned on in the first place if I have to check the website to see them. Another one of the big cons, I would say, is how you withdraw your money. You can't take out money anytime you want. In most places, you have to have a minimum amount of money, which is usually $100. In Canada, it's $200. So for me, that's unfortunate because so far I made about $130, which means I have not received any of the money I have made yet. This next part of my video is about setting up my OnlyFans account, and it's probably the most boring section. So if you already have an OnlyFans account set up, feel free to click on the next timestamp. Now, when you set up your account, you have to send a photo of yourself with some ID to prove that you are who you say you are and that you are of age. Be prepared for this to take up to 48 hours, although for me it took less than 24. My next step was to find some photos that I could use for my profile picture and header on OnlyFans. And because OnlyFans is not exclusive to sex work and anyone can see your profile and header, it's important that you don't include any explicit content here. As far as banking goes, there are a couple of options, but the only one that works for me as a Canadian is to use Swift. And to set this up, all you need to know is your institution and branch information, including your institution Swift code, and you also need to know your own account's details. And all of these you can find through your banking website and even just Google for your institution information. And then finally, once I had all of this set up, I was able to make my first post. I used this as a way to introduce myself with posting a couple selfies and just saying who I was, and that I was looking forward to making content for everyone. And then I also continued to post daily despite not having any subscribers for the first few days, just so that when people did subscribe they would have lots to see. Now, if you're thinking about setting up an OnlyFans account, I would ask that you please consider using my referral code that you can see here, and that way, instead of all 20% of the fee that OnlyFans takes going to them, 5% would go towards supporting me. And if you do use the code, I would be happy to give you a shout out on my account, as well as my Twitter page, and also I'd help you with any questions you might have. Creating my content. Since this is a big industry, it's important that you find ways to stand out. My strategy is to create a lot of themed content. Whether the theme is something simple, like just having a set of shower photos, or whether it's more complicated, like dressing up as a schoolgirl or making a holiday theme. My process works like this. First, I brainstorm a bunch of ideas, and then next I pick a theme from my list of ideas, sometimes combining more than one of the ideas. And then I look for a costume or just pick out what I want to wear for it. I like to try to work with the clothes I have, and then also sometimes buy props. Here I have the props that I plan to use for Easter. So I have these bunny ears, and a basket, and this cute little bunny, and I'm super excited to have fun with the props too. For my schoolgirl shoot, I used clothes that I already had, and then I just bought a lollipop from the dollar store as well as some ribbon to tie my braids up with. After I have my costume all picked out, then I like to just go straight to taking the photos and videos. I personally like to start fully clothed and then work my way to the extra steamy content. You can definitely do this in any order that you like. And I like to just have fun and experiment with different poses and different ideas and then just sort through the pictures after. I usually have at least 200 pictures after that I have to sort through, and it is kind of a pain. Currently, I don't have any professional lighting or a good camera. I just have my phone, which I'm lucky is pretty good. So I've been doing my best to strategically place my desk lamp, and it's not the most efficient. It does work for now. Professional equipment isn't necessary, but it can help you get higher quality content, and higher quality content can increase your value and then get you more money in the end. Another thing to keep in mind about content quality is that on your phone, something might look like it's really sharp and really good, but then once it gets blown up to computer browser size, it might not look so good. A photo that you think looks good on your phone could be blown up, and then on OnlyFans on the computer might look like it was taken on a 2008 iPod Touch. So just be careful that your photos are not too grainy. Another thing about posting from your computer is that if you're going to make the post and you're not uploading directly from your phone or whatever it's been taken from, make sure you're not sending those photos online and losing the quality of the images, and that you're uploading them directly to your computer first. That way they don't get compressed. Pricing and promotions. Pricing, in my opinion, was the most difficult decision I had to make when starting an OnlyFans account. You have to think about, first of all, what people are willing to pay, and then you have to think about what other people are charging for their OnlyFans, and then you also have to consider what you feel your own time and what your content is worth. There are two main strategies that I've seen, and also a third that seems a bit less common. The first is to make your OnlyFans super cheap. The website forces you to make your OnlyFans subscription at least $5 a month, but I've seen people get around this option by charging, say, $6 and then adding a 50% discount to that, which makes their OnlyFans $3 a month. The benefit of this option is that there's a lot of people out there who are more willing to pay $3 for a month of content than they are willing to pay $10 or more. And if you eventually manage to get, say, like 100 subscribers, then that would make $300 for the month, or 1,000 subscribers would be $3,000 for the month. The second option, which is the one that I chose, is to choose a subscription price that you feel your content is worth. I charge $10 a month because I'm just starting out, but I still make daily posts and occasional videos. With this option for pricing, it is harder to get a lot of fans right away, but I find that those who subscribe do appreciate your content and are subscribing because they want to subscribe to you and not just because it's cheap. I also believe that there's a better chance that subscribers who are willing to pay $10 are also more likely to send you a tip randomly. Also, when you look into it, there are people who charge $30 and more for their OnlyFans, so I still feel like $10 is a very reasonable price. The third strategy I have seen is to have a free OnlyFans account and to use a paywall often. So you can post all your clothed pictures or your somewhat risky pictures, and then your more exclusive content you can put up as a paid post or a paid message where you set a price, and if your subscriber wants to see that photo or video, they have to pay. I know this probably works well because when I had my free trial, I've had people who didn't stick around after to pay the subscription actually pay for video messages or pay for other services that I offer, and I think that does help out. Because personally I charge $10 a month for my content, I don't like to send out messages with any paywalls or charge for my videos unless they're extra special to me or extra personal. I like my content to be available to my subscribers since they're paying a higher price for me than they are for someone who charges $3. Currently, I have a 25% off discount to celebrate reaching 1,000 followers, but so far I think the best promotional option was to have a free trial. To gain more subscribers, that's been super useful. When I first started out, I was offering a 7-day trial, which I realize now was too long of a trial to offer. Now that I have a lot of content up, when I do free trial promotions, I only do the 24-hour option, and it seems to work just as well as the 7-day trial did. And sometimes people who do subscribe to the free trial do purchase your extra services. And then speaking of custom services, make sure that you have a tip menu pinned to your profile on OnlyFans. You are able to offer exclusive pictures, custom pictures, videos, Skype sessions, or whatever you can imagine and feel comfortable doing. And this helps you earn a little extra income on top of the monthly subscription. The most important thing for you to do when you start an OnlyFans account is to advertise. That's literally how I spend probably 90% of my time right now when I work. It's not making content, it's not posting content, it's not even interacting with my subscribers. Most of my time is just promoting. And you might wonder, where can I promote such explicit content when most social media platforms don't approve of sex work or explicit content? If you're posting explicit content, your best bets, in my opinion, are Twitter, Reddit, and Tumblr. I personally like Twitter, and it has been my main platform so far, so that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. I might talk more about the others in my next video if I get more time to use them. On Twitter, I would make sure to turn on the feature in settings and safety that says mark media you tweet as material that may contain sensitive content, because if not, there's a risk of getting banned. Twitter does not allow explicit content unless you have this feature turned on, so I personally just think it's not worth the risk. Within my first month on Twitter, I managed to get 1,000 followers, but that didn't happen at all on its own. Most of the accounts I follow belong to other sex workers or promoters, and they are definitely your best resource for gaining a following. A lot of promotional accounts will offer free shoutouts, and there are a lot of threads by the promotional accounts or by other sex workers that you can participate in to advertise your account. And then once you get a bit of following yourself, it can be useful to make your own thread to gain some attention. Another super useful thing to do on Twitter is to get into an engagement group. These are groups where sex workers can talk to each other and help retweet stuff. Getting retweets from other sex workers really can help you out, gain a following, and it just in general helps your tweets reach more people. Things that you should look out for on Twitter when you first start out. Don't overuse hashtags because this could get your account flagged as a potential spam account. I used quite a few hashtags at the beginning and I didn't find any problems with that other than attracting a bunch of spam accounts that had really cheesy bios as my followers. Another thing that has really bugged me on Twitter is that they have something called an aggressive following policy. Now, this basically means that you can't follow a bunch of people, get them to follow you back, and then unfollow them right away. Which makes a lot of sense as a policy, because that's a nasty way to make yourself look popular. However, it seems that Twitter doesn't differentiate between unfollowing people who follow you and unfollowing people who don't follow you. So I've gotten my account restricted twice because of this, where I didn't get to use it for a little while. The first time I unfollowed a couple hundred people who weren't following me back, and then this last time I only unfollowed like 30 or 40 people and got restricted. So if you are going to unfollow people, just do a few at a time, like maybe 10 or 15, or just don't even worry about unfollowing people. Anyway, what does it even matter if you're following more people than are following you? I really don't think that should be something that makes you look bad. It just shows that you're supporting other accounts. And my last advice for Twitter and for advertising in general, even though I still haven't gotten into the habit myself yet, is to watermark your photos because you do not want to make it easier for people to steal your content. Next, I'd like to talk about the sex worker community, and that's probably one of my favorite things about OnlyFans. What I'm going to say now is maybe the most important thing of this whole video, so don't forget it. Other sex workers are your friends. They are not your competition. There are so many buyers out there, and there are so many people who will subscribe to multiple OnlyFans accounts. It doesn't have to be just you or just them. And for the most part, everyone that I've met on Twitter is incredibly supportive of each other. If it weren't for the support that I've had from other sex workers and promotion accounts, I would probably not have a single subscriber on my OnlyFans. I've learned so much from other sex workers out there, and while I do often find myself jealous of their success, I've also only been doing this for 1 month, and I know that they want me to succeed as well. And the other most important advice I have about the sex worker community is avoid drama. Just don't go near it. If you think you have a good reason to get involved with drama, I'm gonna tell you right now, you probably don't. Sex work is actually a real business, and anyone who is getting paid for sex work is a professional, considering the definition of a professional is someone who gets paid for their work rather than working as a hobby. You just have to remember that you're creating a brand for yourself and you don't want to do anything that reflects poorly on your brand. If you get involved in drama or for some reason start attacking another sex worker, it will reflect poorly on your image, and you could lose subscribers and you will definitely lose support from other sex workers. And that is not something you want. Another thing is, part of what you're selling, aside from your photos and your video content, is you're selling yourself and your own personality. And you just don't want to do anything that makes yourself and your personality look bad. If someone's trying to start a conflict with you, my advice would be to just block them and just stay out of it. I finally made it to Timewasters. This is the last thing I'd like to talk about today, and I just want you to know that they are everywhere. They especially seem to like to take advantage of new and inexperienced sex workers who aren't completely sure how the industry works yet. So here I'd like to give you a few tips of how to spot a time waster. One big red flag is asking for content before they pay you. Don't ever send any content before you get paid. And this includes, say, a fan sign. They ask for that before they buy more content from you, or they ask for sample pics. You already have sample pics on your Twitter or whatever account you're using to advertise. You don't need to give away more for free before they pay you, because if they're asking for more free content, they're probably just going to take it and leave and not pay you. One thing I ran into recently was someone asking for a custom verification photo or video, and I thought this was really weird because, first of all, you're already legally verified as being who you say you are on OnlyFans and how old you say you are, and you shouldn't have to prove that to anyone else who's wanting to buy from you. Another thing related to that is you want to be wary of people who are asking you to prove that you are worth it to them and worth their money, because you've already decided what you're worth. You've decided your subscription prices, you've decided what your content is worth, and you don't have to prove anything to them. Another thing, if someone is offering huge sums of money, they're probably fake. While sugar daddies and such do exist out there, you're not likely to find one offering thousands of dollars before they even get to know you. You also want to look out for promotional accounts. Most accounts that I've encountered are super helpful and will help promote you for free. You just want to be careful for guys out there who are running supposed promotional accounts but are also looking for free content for themselves. There are also accounts out there that call out time wasters, so I suggest that you take a look and start preemptively blocking people who have been put on these lists. Anyway, my best advice for time wasters is if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, so just avoid those situations. I'd like to thank you for making it this far through my video, and I truly hope you've learned something today. My first month on OnlyFans has been rewarding, but by no means financially rewarding. If you're planning on starting an OnlyFans account and you're not already famous, you can expect a lot of work with little financial gain. I would only suggest getting into the industry if sex work is something that you already have a passion for or are super interested in, and something that you feel comfortable with. Thank you for watching, and if you happen to start an OnlyFans account afterwards, please consider using my referral link. See you next time!